Oh, really fumbled the bag there, Bowser.
Oh man,
Really fumbled the bag.
can't be
At least
having that.
I wasn't talking to myself. Welcome into episode 3 of Run for the Roses on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. I am Sean. No, I'm just kidding. I am Ryan, Real Digital Horseman. I still have to craft this name a little bit, but I think I'm gonna go with Ryan Digital Horseman Kramer for a bit. And with me, again, still a work in progress, the chief horse officer, trainer, pimp, fornicator, and the man in the desert, Mr. Scott Bowser. Scott, how are we doing other than that fumbling of the bag start? Oh no, now we don't have Bowser. It's been you were muted, Bowser. I think I unmuted you.
Bag fumble again.
There we go. Two
There we go.
fumbles. We picked it up though. We did
Fumbling.
not lose.
Who are you, Ernest Biner?
Yeah, that's a good reference. I'm sure no one watching this show has any clue who Ernest Biner. Maybe they do. Comment in the chat. No one used Ernest Biner as the name of the horse. I will say that we did get a bunch of entries. Of course, most of you lazy motherfuckers, excuse my language, didn't comment on the YouTube video like I asked, so I had to take to X this morning.
Yeah.
Did get some great names. Shout out to the folks who
I
entered the appropriate way.
I think I found my winner. It's gonna be hard for anyone to top this one name. I really like. I'm definitely gonna put my weight behind in the process.
And I see some folks in the live chat throwing out their favorite name. We got let's see here,
nice.
Theater Kid. Do we like Theater Kid? I shout out to 1021. Theater Kid is I would say not bad, but also not good. Not good. Like that's not a winning name.
No, that's not a winning name. Theater Kid. I was one of those. They're losers.
And I guess you know what? Let's just bring the horse. I'll bring up the horse while we're talking about it.
Yeah, let's the full of that one time at band camp.
And I did appreciate how a lot of folks paying homage to the movie with some of their names. Yeah, maybe we should just do that first, Bowser. Should we just roll through some of the names?
What I mean, I know who I'm voting for.
You know who you're voting for already.
All right,
yeah. Let's save it for the end then. We'll save it for the end. A little tease. This horse is being given away today. Also,
hey, so if we have a different one though, we can't come to a consensus like they would with Pope. We're just going to do a coin flip. Is that going to be the way we decide?
I have a feeling we might come to a similar consensus.
Okay.
I'm also fine just alternating. You go first, I go second.
Okay.
Like an old school non-snake draft. But yeah. So and again, shout out to Third Time for donating this one. Love the name full of one time at band camp, and yeah, we'll draw. It's not a drawing. We'll pick this later. Like I said, like I mentioned in the post on social media. So you still technically have time, I guess. I will not. This is just purely what me and Scott are deciding. No one else. So
there was a particular one that tickled such a specific soft spot with me. It's hard for me to go any other way.
I think I know which one you're talking about. And then yeah, we got. I don't want to say we have a loaded show because I think the show will be a little shorter than normal, but we will. We are planning. Because it is Derby week next week. We're going to take a look at the bubble. Shout out to all the majors. Of course, as we're going to remind you every week, this show is about our journey and you're living vicariously through us. So we don't care about those right turn majors, but shout out to the left turn majors and specifically the Derby. We will be live for the Derby once again. Won't be live in Vegas. You will be live in Vegas, Scott. I will be live in Los Angeles. We'll break down the Derby. We will have the second running of the SGPN Classic, and maybe a couple more races for us to bet on. So that'll be a good time. We'll take a look at specifically. We'll dive into the Derby bubble. We'll take a look at what's going on over there, and yeah, I thought it'd be good to, like I said, with giving away the horse at the end of the show. And shout out real quick before I get to and you know what. We're going to talk about some $1 million stables also. For those maybe you don't know what this is, photo finish, live, digital horse game, but real money on the line, and we're going to get into some $1 million stables as well. But before we do any of that, I want to give a shout out to We have a member. We have an early member of Turf Club, Scott, and I wanted
Yeah,
to
I
give.
saw it. We got a verified one today, right?
Oh,
A
no,
new,
that's not what I was talking about at all. If you're that person, also reach out for sure. But what I was talking about, Scott, was we had a and of course X not working right now, so I can't pull up the DM. But we have a dude on X reach out. He's like, "Hey man, bought one of your horses. What's the deal with this Turf Club?" And I said, "You're in
oh,
Turf Club. We're
you're
not
in.
going to talk about it yet, but you're in." So
You're
shout out
yep.
to him. I'll grab his name before the end of the show when I can load it over on X. Uh,
He's a member of this thing of us.
but I wanted to remind people, yeah, if you're either new to the game and you want to sign up, use the code SGPN to get in the Turf Club. Scott and I will help you get in the game. Or if you're already in the game, breed with us, buy our horses, DM us, talk to us about how badly you want to be in Turf Club. This is an early entry period into Turf Club. We're being very generous with memberships, but once we close up the doors, it will be
Yeah,
difficult to
well,
get
it's
in.
going to
So,
be like the mob from 1957 through like 1976, where you just close the books for 19 years and, wait, it's going to be a while before some new blood gets a chance in.
So yeah, head over to whether you're using our link, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/turf club, heading over to Photo Finish using the code SGPN, hop in the game. Certainly a good time. Like Scott and I have talked about, you got the horse, you can have the sex with the horses. You can race the horses. You can breed the horses. You can bet on the horses, or you can just be an owner. You can straight up, and we'll have to get into it on one of the episodes coming up, Bowser, but you can just own tracks. You can just collect a rake and sit back, kick your feet up,
And you
smoke
don't
your
have to
cigar, and
fill
be
out a
fat and
bunch of
pretty.
forms for that either. You can kind of, you set up your account, pop in your, the old crown into the tracks, and bam, you're an owner. Couldn't
So
be.
yeah, get involved in the game. I mean, don't be a loser. Don't be a nerd and sit on the sidelines when you can be racing digital horses and spending hours and hours looking at breed reports of digital horses. So, and then again, I will be generous. If you go over to X, there's still time to enter to win full of one time at band camp. It will be the last thing we do on this episode. The first thing we do on this episode. Well, this isn't the first thing. I was going to bring up some IRL stuff in real life, Scott, as the kids say. I know you're going through a move, and I thought I did think it'd be relevant for maybe you could give some advice to the people on some do's and don'ts when it comes to moving, because I have a couple.
Oh, okay. So first off, definitely, I'm 46. Definitely hire people about half your age to help you.
Yes.
That's a strong move.
Yes.
In fact, the deal we got through U-Haul comes with two dudes.
Oh, you bought two dudes.
I just bought them, dude. No, and
That's a
like
hell of a deal.
I really like. You can also use TaskRabbit. TaskRabbit's a lot of fun because you like pick them out and you're like, it's like going through it's going through like an auction. You're like, oh, this one's got good looking bones. I want him to help me get my desk up the stairs. Yeah. So I would do that.
So hire people. That's a great tip.
And also because it's like you can't count on your friends to get it done right. A professional, there's some accountability. And then also set yourself up with a good 1 week overlay.
Nice. At least.
Don't, if you can. I mean, but because like I'm kind of shotgunning it in the next couple of days here, but I still have next weekend, like Friday and Saturday if I need to. So
excellent. I'll add on to your tip. Buy the people moving your stuff food, and don't be cheap.
Yeah.
It goes a long way, and you'd be amazing how hard they'll work for a nice. I don't know. Well, I was gonna say a Happy Meal, but a nice, little Chick-fil-A, maybe In-N-Out.
I'm gonna pick up some donuts from the bomb ass little Mexican donut shop down the street.
There you go. All right, so
they're coming in the afternoon. Maybe I'll rethink that. All right,
yeah, afternoon donuts are fine. All right, so we mentioned it at the top, but earlier this week, I guess it was a couple days ago, we saw Absolute Horsepower. Bring it up on the screen.
Shout out episode 1. Sens hooked us up with the horse. That was awesome.
Oh yeah, would we say maybe they're number 1 in our power rankings right now just because of that, right?
Yeah, for sure. I mean,
okay, that's what I figured. But
what have you done for me lately?
Yeah, that's we're what
rankings
we're what have you done for us lately? Kind of situation here. Where can we put our heads so we're not in the
and
way?
yeah, and then I probably put Sours number 2.
Yeah, well, we did hang out with Sours in person, so he could be close. I know they
close.
potentially don't like each other. This could be very
This
controversial.
is very controversial. And Best Value's up there. Those guys are great.
But that stands that we did get a free horse from Absolute Horsepower. Anyway, so yeah, they took to the internet to I assume that all these guys sit back in their I think all the big stables, and I'll pull up the game in a second, but I assume they're all sitting back in their evil lairs. Like, was it Dr. Claw from Inspector Gadget?
Yeah.
And they're just kicked back up looking at their 9 scree setups, thinking about how much they're stealing all of our money. So they took to X at ABS_HP, again, Absolute Horsepower, one of the top stables in the game. 1 million, and this isn't 1 million Derby. This is 80 million Derby, or $1 million US in race earnings. We weren't the first to hit the threshold, but we'll be the first to 2 million and the first to 5 million. One, I love a screenshot of a bank account. So this is a excellent flex.
This is an amazing flex. Yeah.
Amazing flex. Also, you bet your ass when we get here, we will also be screenshotting this amount and flexing all over everyone's
We will be
face.
screenshotting the shit out of that. Yes.
Massively screenshotting the shit out of it. Secondly, I like not only calling the single shot of being the first to 2 million, but going further saying we're also going to beat your asses to 5 million. Now,
you know where we're at right now? Just
where we are probably somewhere at, have we reached 50 grand?
Yes.
Okay. What's the number?
60 grand.
Oh, all right. Hey guys. Hey, we're a couple zeros behind, but we're coming.
Yeah, I mean, we're
closing in on animals.
We're gonna get to 6 figures, before the end of the year. I feel, so that's a good goal.
So then I figured might be good to take a look at who's aligning and who's not, because as we know, we're eventually going to only cover the shit talking between the big stables on this program. Solonat,
the commish.
The commish, is this a peaceful response here? Feels like a pretty peaceful response.
It feels, because I think he might have beat him there to 1 million too. Also.
No. That's the thing with our friend over at us. And you know what? Actually, I should, before we go through the comment, should I pull up the overall stats?
Yeah. Do that. Yeah. Let's get the
overall leaderboard.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, shout out to Third Time for a lot of like categories and updates to the way you can configure the leaderboard.
I love having a season leaderboard, but it is also nice looking at the all time. Okay, so what we got 5 in the club now. All right, I would have easily predicted 4 out of the 5 there for sure, and then all 5 really, but yeah.
So
I knew GVG, Tombstone, and Ted would be in there,
so GVG the top stable right now, and kind of putting some space in between himself and Tombstone. Soulmate, we know.
What's crazy about GVG when you look at him, he's number 1, but look how many less starts he has than everybody else in the top 5 too.
Yeah, that's high volume or high efficiency there. Then of course Ted, and Absolute Horsepower now, which the screenshot already 1 million Derby old. To your point, let's not throw shade at the commish, but I've heard some people say you have to scroll a while to get to him. 38th, 38th on the list. I'm not throwing shade. I like his game. I appreciate
he's Michael Rapole of Photo Finish Live. So,
that being said, you do have to scroll a little bit to get down to his name. So there is now that, granted, if we went over to the stud leaderboard, that might be a different story.
How far do we scroll to get to us?
Oh, that's a great question.
Because we're at like 4.85 or so in total.
It's kind of we just made fun of Solonat pretty bad on how long it took to scroll.
Yeah, you gotta scroll a lot longer.
All right, here we go. Shout out Radio Web 3. He's right around our world here. We have a handful more starts to that efficiency question, but Yeah, shout out to all these East Coast stables. Been seeing him on the track a little bit. Shout out Wolof. I know he's got some other stable operations, but yeah, I mean, so we're not complete chump change here.
No, 145 top 150. That's
kind of been stuck there for a little bit. We've been hanging there for a bit. We got some racers coming, Bowser. Don't you worry.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's head it back over to the post because I do want to see what kind. So this does seem positive, and I checked the timestamp. This is before Larry David was getting the choke sign given to him by Halliburton, just like Reggie did to Spike Lee all those years ago.
I gotta say, if you're gonna do that, Larry David's a perfect target for that one. That's
he kind of is the perfect target. All right, we have another big dog in the game, Blue Elder, who I think is it still that they still have one of the tracks, Blue Exotic.
Yeah.
So this is another. All right, we see some alignment here. We're gonna have to keep track of who's friends with who. That's my favorite part. Shout out House's Edge, another positive.
Yeah.
Congrats. You know what? I'm gonna like these in real time.
Look at you.
Pink Slip Racing. Well done. That's not congrats, but that's like a pat on the back. That's pretty solid. That's like you want to get in the comments, but you don't want to be overly congratulatory.
You don't want to be a ball washer about it.
Yeah, not like Solonot here with the GIF.
Yeah,
is this ball washing? Was he ball washing?
I wouldn't say he's ball washing, but the guy down the next one definitely is.
This is ball washing. Yeah.
No, down below.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Legend. Oh,
legend. Neat. All caps. That's definitely some ball washing.
Also, it's both ball washing and really lazy response. As someone who gets a lot of DMs, all caps LFG or legend respond to like a winning bet ticket. It's pretty lazy. It's like if you ever get one of those from me, I probably didn't put a lot of effort into that response.
That's like it. But you know what? I do use the Vito on Sopranos dressed like a leather daddy dancing and celebrating GIF a lot as a reply. But trust me, every single time I use that, it's thought out and it's come from the heart. So
nice. Woo David, who I can only assume this must be a great Italian.
Yeah.
He's not only has the Italian fingers in the white hue. I would say maybe go with a more olive to let us know you're Italian. He has the cafe and the Italian flag
with Italian wine racing stable. Oh yeah. All right.
Okay.
So
big milestone, comma, congrats. So you put grammatical thought into this and use punctuation. This actually, I'm going to go with, this might be the biggest.
How many of these? Okay. How many?
Not many. There's only a couple more. This might be the biggest ball washer of them all. I have no idea what Big Black Colts is talking about. This might be an NSFW situation here.
That's it. That's an NBA.
Go Wolves.
Insane. Go Wolves. They might be both Minnesota fans.
I think yeah, possibly. There are a number of stables in Minnesota. And then to your point, there's a bunch of these. So we're done. We're done. We got the good ones. Well, we don't care about these. Like if I don't know you, if I don't know your stable, you're not a big. I don't care about. This is like reality TV. I don't want to watch a show about like the Smiths that live down the street. I want to watch the Kardashians. All right.
Dude, someone please clip that sound.
So who are we voting of the ball washer of the it looks like we have some friendly big stables here not wanting to stir the pot. Shout out Stens and our favorite big dog in the game for giving us a free horse. And this might be a fun future if we can once we get the betting going and we have some of these places that take crown, we can have a futures market. First stable to 2 million. First stable to 5 million. That's the kind of sharp ideas we're throwing out there.
I love that. We could even have it season to season. Who's going to be the top stable that season?
28 right now. And we have multiple stables. We have 5 stables north of 80 million Derby. In order to get to 5 million, we need 400 million Derby. What season will that happen, Bowser? 28. We're at 28 now. So 28 times 5 would simply put you at 140. Season 140. Does it come before that?
I would say closer to like 115.
Okay. Part of me thinks that the rate that they were able to win early in the game will not be sustainable going forward. But also, if the game expands, there's way more money to be won. So I'm with you. I'll say season 100.
Okay, yeah, because I was thinking it's over 100, but like I do think like there's a part of that too is like you said, the game expanding that, but also I feel like by then we'll probably have maybe got up to SS plus, maybe even triple S minus with the horses.
That's a better prop. That's a better prop. What comes first?
There may be like a higher like some big money. Think about like when we get the first triple S horses, how you can have some big money triple S, like, you know, because at this point the betting's fully expanded, all that, like you could really have some high stakes stuff there.
Well, that's what comes first. The first SSS or a 400 million Derby stable.
What's the line? Are you going to give me plus juice on the first SSS? Considering we still haven't got an SS
So when the game
yet.
started, we had what, 2 S pluses and that's it basically.
I think 2 or 3. Yeah.
And like 28 seasons later, we have a relatively small population of SS minus. Basically, when we entered the game around season 9, S pluses were like SS minuses are now. So that's like 19 seasons basically difference. So if you figure it takes 20 seasons to evolve a grade, it's actually quite close to what I would say, minus 110 each way.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm still taking the triple S.
Good luck. All right. You want to, anything else you want to throw out?
Well, that's me being more positive. I don't know. See, that's me being more positive for the game overall versus just, you know, one stable racking up a few.
Well, and to your point, if the betting, if betting hits, and you'll continue to hear us say this forever, but if the betting, if people latch on to this concept of having photo finish races playing in a bar, no different than trivia, and you scan the QR code and you're making bets and it's onboarding all these people into the game to make bets. I have to imagine that just seeing what a little bit of wagering can do to a pot that we've won and the additional the additional money your horse is going to pull in there, it does seem like it's going to accelerate that. Like it's almost like one of those things, the game, we're not getting to season 120 if the betting doesn't hit. So it almost has to be more accelerated. So now I'm with you. I think 400 million Derby happens well before SSS.
Okay.
Anything else you want to throw out on the Derby front? I'll say this quick comment on our racers. I cannot wait till next season. The next 2 seasons, and I think going forward, we've kind of unlocked some breeding things that, I think we're on something. And I think the biggest piece of feedback I've gotten so far, Bowser, is more breeding talk. More breeding talk.
Okay.
It sounds basically the common thread is that's the most interesting thing to listen to, because I'm going to understand that trapped in your own brain with your own theories about what you're doing. It's good to hear other people kind of kick ideas around the wall. So maybe.
Well, and like, I'll say this about breeding is like, I don't think anybody has been truly proven right or wrong yet on most major theories. I think there's still a lot. Like we were talking to Sowers about this, and this has really stuck with me over the last like month or so. But like, just the idea that people talk about the winning gene and whatnot. I personally think I kind of agree with Sowers here that the winning gene is essentially maybe just a better aging curve than anything actually with the, you know, and because I feel like the aging curve is such a big unknown with the breeding right now.
Well, there's like 2 elements that there's like, one kind of constant that we all assume, I guess, which is that a breed made when you're 3 or 4 is the same as a breed like made when you're 23. So you have that version of it, but then you also have like are you getting the best of what you can put together from the parents?
Because I mean, and also like in real life, like horses tend to not breed as strongly as they.
But
go.
then also to your
Like, especially
point, the
mares.
aging curve almost being like a, you know, if you're talking sports team, like a championship window where all you have the right ingredients in the right spots, and they're going to activate for this many races or this many days in the game. And I think that's the part where, to your point, you know, I don't have evidence that there's mid-season aging other than knowing from racing hundreds of horses that there's probably something that's happened there.
We've seen this. We've seen this with our own horses where some of them actually peak more around age 4, right? And so you need that horse that peaks at major time, age 3. You know, kind of like, you know, there's so many variables.
And I think
here, but like,
if you've read the commission's like million word his complete vomit of thoughts and ideas about the game of photo finish, he does talk about the idea that even if you simplistically break down the aging curve into 4 buckets of 2, 3, 4, 5 years old and give it somewhat of a normal distribution, and you think about what that really means, that half the time, probably less, because we know that the aging curve is more defined around the 2 to 3 buildup, but you know, still in probably 20-30% of horses, they're going to reach their peak later than that 3-year-old season. And so that means that in a lot of cases, we're not seeing the best.
Well, and like, I mean, we've talked about this too, where like the good 2-year-olds might not necessarily have much of an aging curve at all. It just could be they're competing against horses that haven't hit theirs yet. It's the classic, as we've said before, the kid that hits puberty before everyone else in Little League. So I mean,
for us specifically, that's we've seen. I think we've experienced like the horses that we've had that have had early success tend to tail off faster, and the horses that tend to like kind of ramp up and just all of a sudden you see this big jump from 2 to 3, they tend to run a little bit longer. I mean, it's probably very correlated because it's a good horse, so you're willing to run it longer. But all of our best horses have run pretty long and been successful into their, like, very consistently. Our best horses, if they're good at 3, they tend to be good at 4 as well. And you know, to the point of how wide is that window? If you assume the window is 2 seasons and you're not hitting until the beginning of 3, it's reasonable to think.
And I would say anything S plus and below, if you're making money off it on the track, there's no point in retiring it early.
Yeah. I mean, to your point,
because I think like the SS minus, you might want to get that in the breeding bar. And we've seen this before where Kentucky Derby contenders have been retired before the Derby just because they could make more off them breeding. And that's kind of insane, but no, it's the truth. And so, you know, like, I don't know. There's a lot there. So
anyway, I bring it up to say, I think, you know, as the show goes forward, obviously next week we're going to be doing a Derby stream. So mostly just watching races and betting on the races. But you know, maybe going forward, we'll take that in mind and try to make sure we're talking breeding every episode.
all right.
Yeah. All right. So let's head over to the, anything else like news and notes wise. Otherwise, we can hop over to the Derby bubble watch.
Yeah, let's get into the bubble watch. I'm always a fan of a good bubble watch. You know, like whether it's the .com bubble, the housing bubble, or the March Madness bubble teams. I'm a fan of bubble.
Mostly bubble watch for me is the March Madness. But yeah, you mentioned that we should take a look at this because it is fun. Not only to see the qualifiers, but to see who's kind of on the line.
Yeah, who's hanging around here? Because like,
well,
all
real
right,
quick,
so
I'm going to show the details here. So
there's 8 more days of qualifying,
but not really,
or whatever,
because the qualies end the beginning of the quali week. So basically, what's this, Sunday? Sunday. We will essentially see qualifying ending, and then the Derby, which of course 800.
I will be in my new studio.
Very nice. Yeah, we'll be live for this. And like I said, second running of the SGPN Classic will be happening. So stay tuned for how to get into that free roll. But as we've talked about before, 800,000 in Derby in the purse,
So-
which
It's $10,000 and that is for all 4 majors, for this, the Left Turf Harbor Classic, and then the right turn ones. Not that there's anything wrong
and
with
again,
that.
80 to 1's the exchange rate, but very nice first place purse there. As you can see, 20 horses make the cut. And so if we head back over to the qualification, so yeah, I mean 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if they all run, there are 5 qualies left for the Derby. So not a ton of points, as you can see, and I'll bring this one up just to show the idea. But 17 points are distributed for each qualification. If you're new, 10 to first, 4, 2, and 1 to play show and fourth. And so not a ton of points left to give out here. Let's take a look at the bubble or at the quali in general.
Yeah,
I actually kind of
Lunar, if you like these.
go ahead.
Did I get
No,
muted?
go ahead.
No, my headphones are just acting up. See, my studio's half torn down, and this is what happens. Yeah, so like these top ones are definitely in there. Like I would say, like, so we don't really even need to go over these too much, because it's like, Lunaris, dude, 50, that's 5 wins right there. That's gonna get you in the Derby. So definitely RVA Racing looking like they have a serious contender. Les Nouveaux Riches, looking also like those are looking like the chalk right now. Going
just to show you the line, so the cut line right now is at 14, and with only 5 races to go, it's reasonable to think that like if we drew a projected cut line, I would probably put it right here around 18 to 20.
Yeah, I think 20 gets you in.
So we see some of the old regulars up here. Only a couple YSM races, horses in the.
Well, I think Sowers was inspired by the last Derby to make sure he gets one in this one.
Yeah, he's got. I mean, Careful Wisdom is pretty much locked in there with 31 points.
YSM with Anzalero, that's definitely one to keep an eye on. Now, if we go down below the cut line,
Shout out
dude,
Pink Slip, Soma, Guy Stables, Sambry, Golden Boot, Drop Stable, Beetlejuice. We saw him. Was that the classic or maybe the Derby last season?
I believe Beetlejuice bought one of our studs or one of our horses recently. I think bought one of our horses. Yeah. So, shout out to him.
Yeah. SoCal Stables.
Okay, so now just looking at the cut line, dude, rarefied air there, 10 points right below the cut line. I'd put my money that Absolute Horsepower gets that one in this Derby field. There's a future bet I'd place.
SS minus Colt. Nice. What's this? 6 stars. Let's see what it's been doing on it.
Oh, he's also been running it for the Twin Spires Gallop. Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say there. Not only that, but I noticed that as I was looking through some of the horses, to what Bowser is saying, you can see the distance on some of these races a little shorter, and so potentially running down. I don't think so, actually. I think these are. Oh, you're right. It is for the Gallop. Which is always annoying when you have that horse that's right on the middle there. What I was gonna say is I also this is what I meant to pull up. Look at this chart. That is nothing like when your dots are smashing up against the top here. This obviously looks like a Derby winner. If we pull up the parents, Rangetti, another. I mean, we've seen this is a horse that is showing up consistently with children cashing big tickets. And then Big Muzzy on the dad or on the mom side, along with Thug Passion. So,
oh wow, yeah. So some elite lines there. That's for sure.
but what I was gonna say is when I was going through the cut line and looking at some of these horses, I did notice that there are a number of horses closer to the top that are qualifying. They're going after the turf as well. So telling us what, Bowser, that the dirt horses are still stronger than the left turf horses. If you can see the left, especially if you
shout out to like Charlie Chaplin, who was a winner on both the Derby and the turf championships majors. So yeah, I mean,
yeah. So I think the fact that we're still seeing horses attempt to do that is pretty. Yeah. So here we go. Here's an example. YSM, who we've seen do this before. They've been running both dirt and turf for a little bit now, looking to rack up quality points for both. I'm sure.
I'm looking at that. I mean, when finishing second in the Harbor Classic, like qualifier grade 2 race, like that's no
Well,
joke.
this is the,
dude.
and here's,
especially with 3 stars dirt.
and
I
here's
mean,
the major
insane.
takeaway. You have 8 stars heavily on the firm side. So you know that when you're running on turf, I guarantee all these turf races are fast or good. When you're running on turf, here's a yielding. You're just going to be able to smash over there, and as we see, this horse has been getting results. I mean, dropping 80s on both turf and dirt, pretty nice. This horse has something in it. Not to bring up a horse at the top, but look, same parents, right? Rangetti once again.
And if we're going to circle this, I mean, if we're going to circle this back to breeding, it makes me start thinking maybe breeding left turf horses with left dirt horses isn't the dumbest idea now.
Yeah, I mean, I think just
just throwing that out there, like where you kind of get more of a neutral role in the middle. But if you can get those stars on the left and then on the condition on the firm, you could probably really smash if you have that right setup, that right recipe.
This also is a strong, winning gene breed as well, with the mom side being very like elite horse or Sprinter Sacre being in here. You got the Morning Wood line. And then on the dad side, like again, how many horses are we going to, I mean, Bowser, circle it, throw it in we got more breeds with Rangetti. My God.
Well, I think actually Fazzoletti might be the one you really want to go to here, the dad. And the reason why I say that is because the mom side here isn't really that impressive. And so maybe the strength is coming from Fazzoletti.
It's this Italian line here. It's very Italian.
Yeah, Bertolini, you have Grammy Rigatoni.
All right, so getting back to the bubble. So, all right, you're putting. I thought we didn't really talk about it ahead of time, but I thought it'd be fun to pick one. And this could be completely arbitrary, but who gets in, who gets out? Let's make one selection for in.
Oh, I'm saying rarefied air.
You're going with rarefied air. I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say I like your rarefied air being in. I'm gonna go with. Where's the one? All right, I'm gonna go with Alphabet Salad. Late win from Alphabet Salad to get to 18. Sneaks in the back door. Who doesn't make it? That's in right now. I have an answer for this one.
I am gonna go. Well, you just took it off.
I didn't mean to click. Relax.
I will say Sleepy Delight.
Let's take a look at Sleepy Delight. I like it. It will. Can it get an opportunity to pop? It's a sloppy horse. Let's see what the qualities look like. We have some. We do have what looks to be a potential opportunity, but I like the idea of it getting jumped, and I'll throw one in there. Solinot, Cash.
Yeah, see, I was gonna take that one, but I didn't want to take the very bottom one with the least amount of points.
I'll do it.
So I'm
going after the X.
All right.
Respect the commish. Love the competition. Hope you get in. Not really. I like the jokes that people make about having to scroll down to find his stable earnings. Those are funny to me. Yeah. And then, like I said, we'll be live during the Derby. Just gonna, watch the races. A lot more. I would say if you watch the virtual Derby stream in Vegas, a lot was going on there. We had a lot of hopes, a lot of live moving parts. I think we'll be a lot more focused on our bets, a lot more focused on just going race to race with our action.
This will be a little bit more gambling oriented for sure. And we'll have I'm actually thinking maybe we should have a friend of ours make a pick sheet for the card.
Very fun. Yeah, we could do that. A friend,
the one guy,
a friend of ours.
the guy from over there where he used
So
to
yeah,
live.
I mean, honestly, if you're checking it out for the first time, if you're watching on YouTube, make sure you subscribe to the Sports Gambling Podcast channel or follow the playlist. Links in the description. Or if you're listening to the podcast version, go check out the video version. It's probably a little bit more fun to listen to. Definitely the Derby episode next week will be a bit more fun to watch than just listen to the audio.
Well, and I'll be at my new place with the bar set
Ooh.
up, so I'll be drinking cocktails throughout. I'll be knocking back some mint juleps actually with that Woodford Reserve I got on the last Derby. So,
Hell yeah! Oh, that yeah,
stay
with
tuned for
very
that.
nice bottles, courtesy of Baxis. Very very nice. So again,
Yeah. Oh, and you know what? Before we move on to the
Yeah.
closer, there's one thing I wanted to bring up here. I totally forgot, dude.
let's talk about it.
Did you see what happened
No.
today? There was a big breakthrough. Someone hit the fucking Baxis,
yes.
juiced up, fucking hardcore knockout pool pot. And I gotta say, for you DJs out there that want to get in the game, but on a lower level, buying cheap horses from us or breeding them cheap through us, however you want to do it, or whoever. I mean, you don't have to be through us, but we can get you pointed in the right direction. $5 horses, $5 to $10 horses, and give yourself a shot at what hit today. Yeah, 68K. So, dude, that was like $850, dude.
Yeah.
$850, dude, on a hardcore fucking.
And as we keep saying, like the entry fee, 80 Derby, $1.
$1 to get
1/6.
You can get a cheap horse, breed a cheap horse, pick up a cheap claimer. There's so many ways to go about it. Hey, if you want to try and set up your own cheap hardcore bloodline, we can help you out with the breeding, especially for turf club members and whatnot. But yeah, dude, $1 to $2 to enter these things and just pay to, dude. I know the DGens out there definitely like this kind of stuff.
And I don't want to break news, but I'm pretty sure we can expect to see the juicedness of this pot go back up in the near term, hopefully.
Oh yeah, dude. Watch. I want to keep an eye for the Derby show next week. Let's keep an eye. Take a look at where that's at.
Well, and I believe the Baxis Cup will be on the card. So
beautiful. Yeah. So
yeah, and for those wondering, I mean, not like we were mentioning, not just not just Derby. We have Lineage Cup, which is kind of like a Breeders' Cup situation. You got points here. You got or earnings. You got points for the third time championship stuff. The Harbor Sprint, which
Artemis,
is
so the Harbor is left turf. The third time's right dirt, and the Artemis is right turf. If I got that right.
Yep. And then of course finishing off with the Twin Spires and Kentucky Derby. So
next week, a lot of good racing next week.
And yeah, again, like look at the picks pools. They're all juiced for the Derby. So if you want to get in the action with us next week, make sure you get set up ahead of time. Depending on how you're moving your money in, if you're not already into crypto, it could take a couple days. So get signed up ahead of time. Code SGPN. Like I said, you sign up now, you get in the turf club, you get access to the Discord over on the SGPN server. You get access to me and Scott. No personal phone numbers, but you get access to it to us.
I might get a burner phone just for the turf club, dude.
Get a burner. I like that. Get an old Zach Morris phone.
Yeah,
we have tons of
a turf club burner. And that's I'll have it on a holster like a fucking low level contractor.
It's worth it because once you're in the turf club too, so I sign up with that code SGPN. Once you're in the turf club, you get the discounted breeds. You're gonna we're open to loans, whether they be cheap or free. Like once you're in the club, we have, as Bowser will continually point out, we have a ton of horses that we will probably not be doing anything with anytime soon. So we want to help you get your stable started. And like we've mentioned, there's a million ways to play. You can get in the game and just own tracks. It's like a savings account. You're staking, you're getting interest. You can get in the game and just bet on races. I know there's a handful of guys that only bet. Shout out to House of Zedge. They've been doing some betting contests for the majors every year or every season. You can get in the game and start out just by playing the trainer. It's a free horse. It's free races, and you can win real stuff if you're successful over the course of the season. Like Bowser mentioned, you can get in for the cheap, whether it's buying 50-cent dollar horses or playing 50-cent dollar claimers, and then throwing them back into claimers or throwing them into hardcore races for $1 or $2. There are plenty of ways to get in this game, play for cheap. And then of course you can go the route that we've gone, which is buy a ton of horses, breed a ton of horses, have a ton of horses. Bowser, what's our count up to right now?
Like 547, I think.
547. That's a lot of horses. It includes a couple of free ones that people have gave us. Shout out to our favorite stable.
To be fair, we have sold like 15, 16 in the last week or two. And then, but also like, I think we bred like 57 or so for this next season.
Yeah, we did more than we were planning to.
Yeah, but part of that is some circumstances with a couple horses that are in our possession that are about to pass on to the other side soon. We're trying to maximize our haul on that. So,
well, and that's, I mean, good time to bring it up, but we still have 7 breeds on Native Monk. We still have 9 breeds on Samurai.
Yeah.
2 of our favorite Gen 1 left dirt horses. Certainly would encourage you if you're interested in hopping on, and maybe you're a little scared off by full price. Hit us up. We're deal makers.
Yeah,
love a deal. Hit us up, DMs, whatever.
You know, if you're for friends of ours, possibly loan you the mare to breed with them. See how that works?
Oh, I like that. Friends of ours too. I like that. If you're in the turf club, you're friends of ours. It's like that scene in A Bronx Tale where the bikers don't leave and the Italian fellas are very, very nicely go to the door and lock it and say, great, now you just can't leave. Yeah. That's what turf club's all about. So come in, we have our horses.
We have so many horses named after stuff in Bronx Tale. It's ridiculous. And one of them is now you can't leave.
It's like bring up the kids of
Joe Whale. That's definitely a Bronx Tale horse.
Bronx Firebomb.
Yeah.
So yeah, so you get in the game, hit us up if you're on the fence. I super fun. Like I said, I can't stress enough. It's definitely a weird addiction, and you definitely feel strange. You know, racing these horses late at here's what I'll say, Bowser. Late at night when I wake up, I have some weird sleep schedules, and when I wake up late at night and just to look at the horses and see what they've been up to, it shouldn't feel that good.
No, it's fun. When I first wake up in the morning and see the overnight results, that's one of the highlights of my day every day. And as you know, I wake up at like 4:30 in the morning. So someone who wakes up that early for work shouldn't be that excited that early in the morning. But yeah, here I am. So,
all right, let's give this horse away.
Yeah. I'm in.
Oh yeah, I gotta pull up the comments. Let me get those.
Pull up the comments on Twitter. That where you want to do that?
Yeah, I'll pull it up right now.
I got my pick, and this is the person after. Oh, there we go. I didn't realize my mic was all fucking off. This is a person after my personal heart. Like this is someone who gets me, because last week I said I don't really like the American Pie movies, and I know this horse's grandmother is a American Pie themed name, but I mentioned that and I felt like, well, yeah, that's too easy. If you're going for an easy, obvious one, I like people that dig a little deeper and find a funny reference. And so my favorite was, where is he? It's the guy who suggested Prickly Pete.
Oh,
Prickly
wow.
Pete's an amazing reference, possibly the best reference of all time for a horse. This is one I should have thought of a while ago, because I don't know if you know what Prickly Pete is. There you go. JP the Prez, Prickly Pete. Prickly Pete's from the Seinfeld episode where George is lying after Susan dies, and George is lying to her parents about what he's doing now and what he's up to. And he claims he has a racehorse, and they asked him, what's its name? And he says, Prickly Pete, in a full lie. And dude, I just watched that episode recently. And so dude, yes, JP the Prez, I vote for Prickly Pete.
I'm not going to argue with you. I also 100% knew you were going to bring that one up, just based on the reference. I did want to show off some of the other ones.
Yeah.
Shout out to
You
Sean.
know me too well to not know the Seinfeld one's gonna win every time.
Well,
Like,
when it came in, it made me laugh too. Of course, I also come from a generation where, Seinfeld is probably even still to this day one of the strangely most rewatchable shows, considering when it was made.
dude, it's still on Comedy Central reruns like every day. Yeah.
So great. Anyway, let's go through some of the other names. Sean bringing Bill Belichick's social media manager into the fight.
Yeah, I did like that one. That was pretty good. I really like Furman's One Last Leg.
Shout out Terrell, host of the WNBA NBA gambling podcast for the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. One Last Leg, certainly a parlay reference, maybe.
Yeah.
Shout out T-Merc. He was. I like nothing better than flexing that you submitted the entry the correct way. Flute Coot.
This was up there for me. I'm not gonna lie. I did really. This one made me laugh.
I'm gonna say T-Merc, DM me. We got to put you on a list because this was a very good.
That was like, dude, that was my like honorable mention, like silver medalist, and so. Yeah, we gotta. Hey, that was good enough for you get something.
Flute reference, which is an American Pie thing, but the coot I think saves it.
Shout
out Green Tick, stuck a flute. Again, a lot of flute reference in Michelle's flute legacy. Shout out to Chris.
The Shermanator, that's fun. You gotta think the Shermanator might already be taken.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about that. I actually, my take on the Shermanator was we can do better. The theater kid, again, we saw this one in the chat earlier. Okay. I think we can do better though. One time at Cantor Camp. All right. Mm-hmm.
Now I will say this one was good with the gif of the not another teen pony. I did like that one. That was a good one. That was on my
shout out Fingers. He was who I was trying to mention earlier from Terra Firma Farms. He bought one of our horses, so he is one of the early Turf Club members.
Early Turf Club. He's a friend of ours.
Yeah, we're getting set up. We're getting there. DM me if you've done any of those things, so I can get you on the list. GW Stables. Yeah, the recorder is always great. Pickle Toe Pete. Okay.
That's interesting. I gotta say, but Prickly Pete is where it's
Stifler's Colt. I wanted this to be so good. We could have gone it. No, not enough Stifler responses. To me, my winner would have come from the best Stifler response. This is not that. A pie to remember. PJ Stables. Thank you for responding. That's all I can say to that one.
Eric the Dorian, friend of the show, and your former intramural basketball teammate with Cabin Pressure.
Oh wow.
Like that pull.
Okay. I like the. I did not realize who this was. Shout out to him. We were great teammates for many years. Prickly Pete and of
he
course,
actually named some of our horses. I'm not gonna lie. He and I were texting the other night, and he was coming up with some fire names.
I like that.
Vesuvio Sunday being one of them. If you're a Sopranos fan, that's a nice pool.
All right, now this is always fun. Let's see what X thought was spam.
The tush push is great too. That's a good one.
I'm unliking that one. I don't like that one. Let's
As a Giants fan, you're legally obligated to unlike that one. I get it.
All right, probable spam. This looks like it might be real though. A hot tromboner.
Hot tromboner. That's definitely Neil Zelkin with a hot trombone. I mean, that's not bad, but I mean, if you're gonna do the tromboner thing, like I don't know, rusty trombone is a classic. Where you.
I think you just go. My note here would be hot tromboner is the better name. I would say this is probably an honorable mention. I also like how I got spammed, which makes me wonder what this account is used for.
Yeah, no, that's a lot of fun.
And I would say I'm with you with Prickly Pete because Prickly Pete is also a great horse name.
This
is still a horse name, and so I think some of these, Pickle Toe Pete. I think the 3 named horses are a little weird. Not another teen pony. Okay, probably a little too long.
Dude, if I told you, hey, I got a horse running at Aqueduct tomorrow on the 4th, I really like, named Prickly Pete, you should load up on.
Yeah, love that.
That sounds right.
And that's also why Flute Coot can work. It's
yes. It's a good.
Although that could be a mouthful coming down the backstretch, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that's why
or
Jordan
coming on the back stretch maybe. All
and
right,
also, I gotta admit, and I mean, maybe this is a tip of my hand, too much of me going forward, but I'm a sucker for alliteration. So Prickly Pete just works on so many levels for me.
All right. That's the horse is given out. I will badger. Well, I think one way or another, we will have a horse to give away on the Derby stream, whether a third time donates us one, whether another stable donates us one, or whether we donate one.
How about this? Maybe we can get third time a big stable. If they both do it, then we'll match a third one and we'll give away 3.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. But anyway, we have another horse to give away on deck. We have a free roll for the Derby
SGPN Classic, the second SGPN
second running.
Yeah.
So look out for a way to get your horse entered into that. I think going forward, we're going to have more regular free rolls. We could have some restrictions. Maybe you have to be in the turf club, for example. So you're definitely going to want to get in the turf club. Yes. Code SGPN, sportsgamblingpodcast.com/turf club. Head over to Photo Finish Live. Get in the action. Basically get in, verify your account, and hit us up. That's the best way to get in the game if you're looking to race horses, breed horses, stuff like that. And like I said, the turf club is going to probably be the gate that we, at least once a season, if not more, we have these free rolls. So you get in the turf club, you're going to have some opportunity to hit some free rolls on a weekly basis. The goal, I think, will be for us to close out the show every week with a free roll or something like that. So, Derby stream next week, and then we reset, do it all over again, react a full day, talk about breeding, talk about more breeding and free rolls.
You gotta love it. The script writes itself.
I do like the whip around. And last thing before we get out of here, Scott, we are also the owners of a couple digital soccer teams.
I've almost forgot. You're right. Yes, we are.
Do we want to talk about that before we get out of here?
Yeah, we can cover that real quick. So we started off with Pridpom Park, and then we won consecutively Division 7, Division 6, Division 5, Division 4 in a row. Then we got to Division 3, and we kind of battled for the first season, kind of what we finished the first season, 6th, 7th,
yeah,
7th. And then we finished 3rd last season. And I remember telling Kramer, I was like, we're so close to that top 2 to get promoted to Division 2. And today we closed it out and got it done. Shout out to our boy JG, who owns the Dunton Rovers, who knocked off Cruiseburn, who knocked us off yesterday, but he re-knocked them off and got us the big prize. Dude, we won over like $1,000 in Ethereum on this one too. So
does it make you feel better that the loss yesterday doesn't matter? We wouldn't have come in first anyway.
We would, yeah, no, it did. Because when I realized that, I was like, okay, yeah, we needed help to finish first. But I felt like, we kind of controlled our own destiny to get that promotion and finish there. So this is the first time we're getting promoted without a championship win. But just
yeah, and so 0.381 ETH, very nice. And to give everyone a quick idea, it's basically a pyramid. So Division 1 is 1 league, Division 2 is 2 leagues, and
they're
Division
all 12-team leagues, and that's kind of the reason why we got into this together, because we do so many best balls together. We're like, hey, we're good at beating 11 other dudes.
we started down here. And as you can see, like, it just doubles each level. So there are a ton of these leagues. So
and we have a promo code for this too. If you want to get your own club and get going on that, we can help you get started.
Yeah, I'll throw a link in the bio. Code SGPN over there as well. But I'll make sure I put a link in the bio. But yeah, so we officially are promoted into Division 2.
So now we're in the top 36 teams, dude. We're like, dude, this is wild.
Oh yeah, you're right. I was going to say there's only 3 leagues now: Division 1 and 2 Division 2. Boy, this is going to be. I think, the key, not to get too deep into this game, but the key is now getting this Division 2 academy prospects. You get a drop, you get new players. It's going to be very exciting. Very exciting next couple months for both the soccer game and the horse game, as things are looking bright for us.
Yeah, so
this is pretty rad. This is pretty rad.
Yeah, this is pretty sweet. So we might have to get a 3rd club now, though. We've already talked about this, but I think this is now that we got the extra ETH from this 2nd place finish at D3, might be time to fire on a 3rd club. So.
Yeah, we'll see. We also have a D6 team. How do we finish there? Should I pull it up?
Finished 5th, I believe. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And right there, really just a 6-goal difference from us finishing in the 4th spot. But
All right. Well, whatever. Good enough.
yeah.
The big league was the big prize. So
Yeah.
pretty awesome. Look forward to the Academy drop. Look forward to everyone who's going to join Photo Finish Live. Look forward to everyone that's going to sign up using the code SGPN and hit me and Scott up to get some horses.
I just thought of a really good idea too for week 1 NFL. What if we had a special turf club hangout at the Legacy Club?
We'll see. I don't want to commit to anything. Because we already are breaking rules. We don't talk about the turf club outside of turf club. So again, you're going to want to get into turf club, if nothing else, just for access to these free rolls. That's what I'm going to start with. Access to free rolls, discount breeds from us. And yeah, so code SGPN. Shout out to Third Time, Photo Finish Live, Absolute Horsepower, Solonaut, all the other big stables, GBG, Tombstone. Maybe we'll have a guest on the Derby stream next week. We'll see.
Yeah,
we'll see about that. Shout out to all the big stables. Thanks to Stens once again, our favorite dude in the game, for giving us that awesome horse. Can't wait to follow it through its life. Go get your stable today, or bet on some horses. We're gonna do some betting next week. Derby's next week. Get your account. And yeah, for Scott Bowser, who has a grueling move over the next 3 days. So pray for him. Scott, remember to feed your movers. And yeah, I'm Ryan Digital Horseman Kramer. I still haven't figured out how we let this one go. What do they say when a horse at the end of a horse race? As it's ending, Scott, what is a
We're coming down to the wire and it's close. It's a photo finish. I don't know.
Okay. So, me and Scott, we'll be coming back next week with the Derby stream live on Saturday. I think the plan is to go live about an hour before the Derby. Derby's at 6 PM Pacific. I think we go live maybe 5-ish.
Is it at 6 PM Pacific this time?
Pretty sure. We'll broadcast all the races leading up to the big one, and then like I said, we'll go out with the SGPN Classic. Follow Scott on X at Scott_Bowser. You can follow the stable at SGPN Stables, at Gambling Podcast if you're looking for a sports gambling fix, and of course you can follow me at Kramer Centric. I'll be posting definitely from my account how to get in the free roll. So you give me a follow at Kramer Centric. And again, subscribe to the show, like the show, follow the show on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, whatever you use to listen to your podcast. And until next time, the photo finish still doesn't work. Until next time, let it ride.